Hey, sorry I'm late. But you see, I'm making up for it. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Yeah, say hi to the camera. Ev loves you. Hi. Hey. You're here to drink the pink water. Okay. Are we done? Are we done? Yeah? Oh, you're gonna hang out here. Okay, that's fine. Alright, you can hang out on the edge of it. You're gonna hang out with me? You're gonna hang out with me? Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, well, let me set up my little secondary screen here. And we can enjoy the kidder. Yeah. Hi. Hello. Okay. Kidder goes off. All right then. He's just gonna sit at the base of the... Okay, and we are here. We're gonna find me my chat. Hi everyone. How was everyone's week? Let's take a look at that and make sure that's off. I think Lee needs a cat containment unit on that desk. Yeah, I think I do. Have you put a label on Neon yet, please? If not, I have an alternative idea for what to do on stream tonight. We could try labeling the cat, but I don't think it would go terribly well. Just a guess. I feel like Neron would probably have opinions about that. Let's see. Let's get you a little closer in. What am I munching on? I have breakfast rounds. They're like a flatbread thing that's got raisins and dried apples and all sorts of nuts and seeds in it. I don't, because of the meds I'm on, I don't have a huge appetite, but like I don't feel hungry, but I need to eat. Okay. And of course I've got cat fur now all over my paper here. So I painted a fairly green leaf here, and I've got like a really roughed up leaf with some interesting like browns and reds, and I thought that would make an interesting contrast. So I'm going to paint this leaf today. We have the breakfast pitas here. It's about the only thing I can eat with raisins because it's full of cinnamon too. Yeah, they're delicious. I just wanted to put something in my face because otherwise, you know, I'll run low on energy. Oh my goodness. Can you hear that yelling? It's so sad. It's like we abuse cats in this house. My goodness. he's very upset because both Jordan and I are doing work stuff, so I have this stream going and Jordan has a meeting, and neither of us is paying attention to cats right now. Yeah. I mean, I had him here. I was happy to just have a stream where I pet cats, but I know, it's a tragedy. Well, if he keeps at it, I'll go fetch him. Maybe see if he'll do some tricks on camera. Okay, so if sorry, I'm still trying to figure out what my trying to get you guys the best angles here. Oh, a little bit dried leaf there. And whoop. Okay, I don't want to knock that over. Sorry. Maybe if I use this. There we go. Hello? Okay. And push this forward a little and over to this side so that I can have a comfortable painting position. And I'm going to flip this over here. Use empty binder to give myself an angle that I can paint at. Sorry guys. Let's try to bring this up even a little further. There's a whole different amount of planning that goes into setting up a subject so that it can show up on a screen while I'm painting. The lights are all in weird places. Okay, let's see. Maybe that'll work. Okay. Or if I turn it up the other way. Oh, maybe that's it. Yeah, that's a better angle for me. Okay, and we'll put the water here. Put this down a little. Put the lights. So I use the same lights for lighting my subject and for studio lights, which means for lighting my subject, I want high contrast. So I want really strong directional light, but that sort of messes a little bit with the studio lights. So how is this looking for all of you? Oh my goodness, there's just a tragedy going on downstairs. Okay, cool. All right, well, I'm gonna go fetch the little terrorist, since apparently that's what this stream needs to be. I'll be right back. Okay, we are back with the diva and the treats. Yeah, you're red. Hi, do you want treats? Do you like treats? Okay, but you're gonna have to perform. You are? That's how it works. Neuron, sit. Sit. Good boy. Oh, you're not on camera. Okay, fine. Oh, do you want more treats? Do you want more treats? Okay, over here. Sit. 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 No, that's not sitting. That's coming down over here. Oh, you stole a piece. Come here. Neuron. Oh no, you just wanted attention. You don't even care about the treats. Look at you. Up here. Neuron. Look, it's a treat. Up here. Rumble, rumble. I know. Oh, I know. It's tricky because there's all this stuff on the desk. I know. Okay. What if I help you? What if I help you? What if I help you up? Okay. Here you go. And then we're gonna show off your tricks. How do you feel about that? Sit. Sit. Is that sitting? Oh, you are sitting. Good boy. Good boy. Good kidder. He's a good boy. Yeah. Okay, are you not going to finish your treat? No, you just wanted to show off. Like literally, I'm sitting here with a treat in my hand. Okay, it's over here. Okay. Those are the beef liver ones. Yes, these are beef liver. We get these and some duck ones. And we usually get the dog, like the ones that are branded for dogs, because it's about the same price for like twice as much of the treats if you get the dog ones versus the cat ones, but they're identical. They're just freeze-dried beef liver. So yeah, so it's this, but it says it's for dogs, so that basically just the sizes are a bit bigger, so sometimes we'll break them in half. Yeah, they're good stuff. So Neuron, when he was a tiny kitten, we got a store brand one of these. Like it was the same stuff, but it came in like a yogurt container. and we put it in one of our kitchen cabinets, but our cabinets at the time, they didn't latch closed, and Neuron understood how to open them. So one day we came home and he'd open the cabinets, like he'd take his little paw and he'd open them and then jump up. And so one day we came home and the cabinet was open and the yogurt container, treats container, he'd climbed up into the cabinet and knocked it down and knocked it around. And so it had all of these little puncture holes in it. And he'd just like clawed and bitten at it until it opened. And then eaten his, like, nearly his own weight in treats when he was like, I don't know, like 3 pounds. Like he was a tiny, tiny little cat. So we come home to this tiny little cat who's just bloated, like his belly was distended. And he's lying, just purring, like he can't stand up straight because he's had so many beef liver treats. He's just like lying on his side, just purring because he broke into the cabinet and stole the treats. Hi, Steven. Yeah. All right. Okay. I think we've settled the cat now. So I can actually do some painting. Wouldn't that be a change? YouTube took its time reminding me that you were on, even though it set the reminder. Yeah, so I frequently get reminders for things, but like as they're ending, like Cyan has her stream and sometimes it'll be like, oh, she's live, and it's like already over or partway through. So YouTube is weird like that. I'm on at 2 p.m. every Friday, except for those weeks when I'm not. But I'm trying to keep to the schedule. I think it's helpful to have a schedule, like a thing that I regularly do. Just being self-employed, it's easy to fall into, you know, bad habits in terms of my schedule and stuff. So this is helpful, and no guarantees on what I'm doing on any given stream, but I will try to be on every week. I got notifications about Cyan's stream, got excited because I'm awake for one, yay, and then, yeah, it's a few hours after she finished. Yeah, so I do that frequently. Like, that happens to me frequently, particularly with Cyan's stream. Like, I don't know why it's so, okay. Anyway, so, yeah. I'm painting another Norway maple leaf. So I painted this one yesterday, and today I'm flipping my sketchbook upside down and painting this one. Like, really, it would be better if maybe if I sit, let's see, do I have, oh, that's not a good idea. I have a plain piece of paper somewhere. Protect this so that I can have it facing the other way. Yeah, okay. So this is just an empty paper pad. Paper's long gone. I just fished it out of my recycling, but I'm gonna tuck it under. Oh my goodness. Maybe I'll just zoom out. I feel like I'm a little crowded here. I was trying to, oh boy. And of course the cat. There's all of these marks on my oh boy. Evening all. Been lurking this week, but glad you pinged the reminder on Discord because reminders are goofy. Yeah. Yeah, reminders are goofy. Okay, and this page was clean, and then I invited my cat to roll all over it, so now it's not clean, but that's okay because I'm going to be painting on it anyway, and this is a sketchbook. Yeah. Okay, let's try to start sketching, I think. And maybe if I move this over further this way and zoom out just a little further, that'll, this needs to not be here. Use an anti-slip thing to put under your iPad so it won't slip. Yeah, so I actually have a case for it that should do that, but it's not on right now because I didn't plan ahead. Okay, so, yeah, I'm gonna sketch this leaf, and I'm gonna work it so that, ideally, oh, yeah, like that. This smudge here is going to be in my painting. Are you at house or studio? I'm at home. Yeah, I do my videos at my home studio. I probably could do them at the co-op. For those who are unclear, what Stephen is asking is because I have two studios. So I have a home studio and I have a co-op studio that's shared with other people. That's just a few blocks away, where I would generally prefer to work. Now I have been working mostly from home anyway, just because of pandemic. And because I kind of fell into the habit and, you know, it's, even though I prefer to work at the studio, once you get into the habit of working from home, it's a little bit hard to motivate yourself to go somewhere else. So I haven't been going to the studio terribly much, although I would like to start again. I just have to put some thought into how to do that, like what my comfort level is for safety. Yeah, so I do most of my videos from my home studio, but I also have another studio where ideally I would be doing most of my like illustration work. My kitten is tormenting the pups and trying to reassure them that the box moving around the lounge isn't going to actually get them. That's hilarious. Okay, so then, yeah. Oh my goodness, there's so much cat fur on this page. It's like the worst Dalek costume, but he's be rocking it well. Oh my goodness, that sounds hilarious. So I actually just got a new, I'm putting some effort into fixing out both of my studios. Um, my home studio in some ways has been, for a long while, it's been nicer in terms of like quality of furniture and finishes than the co-op studio, um, where I just sort of used whatever nonsense, secondhand stuff, and didn't really worry about, ergonomics or anything. Um, and so part of what was discouraging me from going to the studio was, my lights are better at the home studio because I use them for video and uh, because it's my home. My chair is better at my home studio. My desk is nicer. So I got some new stuff for the studio, some new equipment. And then I also actually decided then to fix up the home studio and get some organization down, and so hopefully I'll have both of them fixed up soon. And then I can do 2 new studio tours. Hi, Mikey. Excellent lesson and processes the original music to Doctor Who. There are online articles about it. Cool. Music and music theory is such an interesting field. I really haven't gotten into it that much. Like, I took music lessons as a kid. I was really bad at them, but I took the lessons. But yeah, okay, so then this comes out this way, but it's blocked over here. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure this out, talking as I go. Here, and so that's gonna be there. Oh my goodness. So yeah, so then we're going to have this here, and it's not going to quite block this. It's been a while since I've painted one of these like really curly leaves. So we're just gonna there. Had to work at the hardware level, no sense. They built the oscillators and stuff to make the sounds. Oh, that's really cool. I didn't realize like what you were commenting on for that, because yeah, totally unfamiliar with that. I was just saying, like, even from like a music theory level, like there's so much there, I think, in a similar way to visual arts. In terms of, making sounds that give us certain impressions. So I took piano and then cello as a kid. And it was never really my thing, but I did have to do music theory and then harmony. I did all right at it. Don't really remember much, but Hi, Joan. Alan Parsons has an eye in the sky. Feeling out of my depth in this conversation. Enjoying it. Okay. So that one's there, and then there's one last one there. Okay, so that goes there. Joan says, hi, Leah and everyone this afternoon. I'm watching. Hi, Joan. Hi, Sterling. Nice to see you. I keep meaning to go and watch your streams. I really just need to, like, I have YouTube open, but I'm not frequently on Twitch, so I keep on missing your streams. Oxapane says, realizing I can't reply directly to peeps from my phone. Box of Paint, I think you probably can. It just won't, like, it won't show you the tag as you're typing it. No worries. I mostly just drink coffee and pretend I know what I'm doing. Well, I spent the first bit of this stream, I handed it over to my cat, so, you know. We're all just faking till we make it. I'm lurking. Lisa says I'm lurking a bit because I'm sewing some stuff while listening. Yeah, I find that's actually a really nice way to use streams. Like I'm frequently I'll watch Ev's stream on Saturdays, and I'll just have it open. I have I'll do a studio tour soon so you can see what this setup is, but I have a much larger screen where I do my editing sort of directly in front of me across the room. So that's a 4K screen. I can just blow something up really big. It's 24 inches. And so I can just blow up a giant stream and put it on the speakers, and so I can listen to a stream and do something else at my desk, like paint or swatch or something. Or sometimes I'll just do something else entirely, like unrelated. I feel like I screwed this up somehow. This is a little bit distorted. That's fine. We'll figure it out. I'm hand binding a sketchbook of Arshu so I can actually paint more non-finished pieces. That's wonderful. So let's just worry about these bits. The sketching portion here is always a little interesting because just very light drawing, you can't really see what's going on. And it takes some time to get a feel for how these things all fit together. Once I get painting, you know, especially in the early layers, there's much more immediate visible changes, but in these early sketchy bits, all you're seeing is Joan says, hi, back Ev. As an aside, I have ordered some UV spray wax and will be experimenting to see how some of those protectants reduce, fade, or shift on fugitive pigments. That's really cool. Joan, are you in my Discord server? I don't think so. Ev, could you throw her a link to the Discord server? Sorry, I forgot to add the links in the description for the video today. But I would love to see those results. I find live streams kind of meditative. I can relax and talk and listen and just do nothing really. Yeah, it's really nice in real time. And it is more of a social sort of thing, the live streams versus something more edited. It's also nice from the creator side. There's just a lot that goes into creating an edited video. Like, you know, an edited video might be only, say, 12 minutes long is probably about my average, 12 to 15 minutes. But that 12 to 15 minute video takes a day or 2 or 3 to film, and then another day or 2 to edit. So it just, you know, especially the more complex videos, if I'm doing like a tutorial or something like a color theory sort of video, like those take a really, really long time. And so you can almost make it a full-time job just creating and editing video. Never mind actually creating paintings that, you know, for other purposes. And that's just putting out 1 to 2 videos a week. So it's nice to be able to do this, and I feel like it's helped me take a step back where I can do a weekly live stream, and if I get a video out every week, that's cool, and if I don't, well, you know, I still feel like I'm still engaging with YouTube if I'm doing a live stream that week. And I'm not sure what a Discord server is. Okay, so Discord is a chat program. It's just a free platform for, it's like a sort of chat room sort of situation. So Ev just linked my Discord channel up above my Discord server. And so throughout the week, people go in there and chat about what they're doing in their art, various nerdy art and science things. It's a nice way to keep in touch throughout the week. Working plus stream sometimes works really well, sometimes not. Still mostly certain the doc I said I will call the paint plan. Definitely judge me there. Thankfully, she judged quietly. Thanks for throwing that up, Ev. So this is taking a little bit more time sketching than I usually do, just because I really want to get all of these detailed edges really nice and crisp. And I think it'll help with getting some of these shadow work stuff into, hopefully. We'll see. Okay, actually, I'm just gonna shorten that a little. I feel like I've made it a little too long here. And we're gonna put that there. And yeah, so then that goes there. This one comes up. And it's really nice to see this leaf come to life. Thanks, Suzanne. Yeah, this is a lot more sketching than, like, a lot more pencil work than I would usually do for most things. But I feel like because the colors are subtle, a lot of it is going to come down to form, and so I actually do want to see some of that that detailed shape work and really understand it in pencil before I start putting down color. Uh-oh, Lise. Mikey says, I just took a shower and cracked one of my nails and used super glue to save the day. Oh, wow. We have acrylic glue, which has come really handy. So my watercolor palette here, I've got an acrylic lid for it, and we got acrylic glue to make this lid because it didn't come with a lid. And that came in really handy yesterday when I cracked the fridge drawer. I just dropped I was grabbing something out of the fridge and I dropped something on the drawer and it cracked the slide. So we just glued it back together. And by we, I mean my husband. I had nothing to do with this. I just did the cracking. To use it more with my badly cracked fingers, I think. If you could use coconut oil, it's antimicrobial and good for just about everything. Skin. Yeah, so actually coconut oil, I've been taking oil baths sometimes, so like, or well, oil showers really. I'll lather up with coconut oil in the shower and then scrape it off. It's been really good for my skin. It's really quite nice. I was super gluing a broken plate yesterday and was at one point everything slipped, so yeah, ouch and yay. Ooh! I could, but it's not good for watercolor paper. Yeah, so what I do in the shower is then I wash it off. Like, I do the coconut oil, and it's not every time I shower either, it takes some time. But after scraping down coconut oil, then I'll use soap, but it'll just like leave, it'll soak into my skin a little bit and just leave, you know, it cleans out any kind of like oily bleh from skin. Really nice. I've enjoyed oil baths. Okay, so then this one. So for this leaf, I'm gonna do a sort of variated wash over the whole thing. Initially, I think I'm gonna use like a yellow ochre or, well, actually probably this raw sienna color. Yeah, so this is Monte Amiata Natural Sienna, so it's sort of like a yellow ochre-y raw sienna. I might add in something a little bit more greenish just to tone it down just a little. So I'm going to apply that down as a base wash, and then I'll start adding in all of these colors afterwards. I think super glue is used for field first aid too. Yep. It's included in like military first aid packs. So you can glue skin back together and patch up wounds with super glue. So I'm gonna basically call this soon. Yeah. Okay, that's enough sketching. And so my lightest areas are going to be in this section, so I'm going to start out just quite light. In here. But I want to, basically all but the brightest highlights, I do want there to be some paint on, just to tie these colors together. So this is wet on dry. For rough subjects like this, I don't even bother with a wet on wet wash, basically at all. This will be a little bit less even than a wet on wet wash would be, but that's fine because it's such a rough subject that it'll all be hidden anyway. And then within this, I can have a little bit more control and a little bit more time to paint if it's wet on dry. So I'm looking at my subject and I'm sort of putting in a little bit more color where it's going to be a deeper shadow, but it's not varying it a little, but it's not a, none of this matters. All of this is going to be quite light and all going to be covered up anyway, basically. This is just to tie everything together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this side, and I'm going to go back to the other side and paint in from the other side, and by the time I get back here, this will be dry. So then I can make this area much deeper where it's in shadow over here. Yeah, I didn't understood first aid, like the term first aid to cover both, but I guess they are sort of different concepts in terms of what you're going to, what sort of care you're going to provide. That makes sense? Sorry, my chat is just not keeping current, hard to converse. Huh. It's too bad. So there we go. And over here we're gonna... So over on this side where this is not getting as much light, this one's gonna already be much deeper. But this looks much deeper now, but you'll see once I'm painting over it that this is actually still a very light wash. Thing about watercolor is when you have all of these wishy-washy, like really light colors, you put something like this down and it looks really deep, but actually once you deepen the shadows, this is a very light wash. So you kind of have to keep that in mind, or put in some very deep, like dark blacks right away, and then that'll help you work out where your relative tones are. Probably my virus scan is running or something. charge in a little bit more. And then I'm gonna get in a little bit more of this and start. So even this looks really dark right now, but in reality, it's going to be much, much darker. So once I put in those actual dark colors, this won't look so dark anymore. Okay, and then I'm going to do this top part. So I'm sort of skipping around this leaf because I am doing just a continuous wash, but I do want to leave some definition between these sections. Hi, Val. Does anyone have any questions about this process? Like I'm trying to, I don't know, I'm trying to do the teaching thing here where I'm going on about what I'm doing, but I'm also just sort of painting and talking. Okay. Yeah, that's that. And if I just soften this off, how's that gonna go? Pretty well. All right, that's good. I really like how you narrate the steps. Thanks, Lise. I haven't been able to run workshops lately because of the plague. But this is sort of like a workshop, except a lot more laid back in that in workshops, you know, nobody's going to sit around for 2 hours while I work on something. So, you know, I'll speed things up, or I'll have things pre-prepared so that I can just show a specific point in the process. And I have that planned ahead, whereas this, I don't. Just going along. Okay. how many layers do you think this piece is going to need? So that's a sort of interesting question. Probably about the least I ever do is about 3 or 4. But the way I work is I fill in the base with a sort of light tone, and then I'll put in the deepest colors, and then I'll work in mid-tones. And then I can keep, for those of you who have any kind of like technical, like a math or a computer science background at all, this is sort of like a binary search, like a so I split the problem in half. So I have my darkest tones and my lightest tones, and then I do my mid-tones. And then if I'm going to make something more detailed, you can basically go infinite, right? Where you, like, those are the 3 sort of things that you really, really need. If you have your middle tones, your light tones, and your dark tones, you have something that reads as a leaf. It's just not very detailed. So then you can do sort of the middle tone here and the middle tone here, like the quarters and then the eighths, and keep on going forever. So because this is in a sketchbook, I'll probably only do maybe 4, 5 layers, but I mean, keep in mind, most of those won't cover the whole thing. So it's, you know, are you talking about individual layers there? But if this was a more finished piece and I wanted it to be really, really polished, then I could keep going forever. And at some point I would just have to be done because my deadline would arrive. Yeah, I think of it as sort of like a puzzle solving approach, where you do, if you're doing like a jigsaw puzzle, you solve the easy to solve things first. So in the case of a jigsaw puzzle, you know, you'll do the edges first, or the bits that have, you know, a really noticeable difference. And then, like, I don't know, say you are doing a jigsaw puzzle and it's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and it's all browns except for a bright red nose. So you might do the edges first, or you might see the few pieces that have bright red and fit those together because that's the bright red nose. It's easy to figure out. And so likewise, you're going to do the same, or I would do the same with a painting, where I'm going to figure out what the most important key things are, and then from there you can figure out how everything else fits together, in terms of tones, or in terms of shapes, or in terms of anything. And so that means that you can just, you know, at any point past the initial, you're going to have a, you know, you get past that ugly stage of your work really early on in the process. And then after that, oh, well, and I'm getting distracted. I just painted over a section that, sorry. Where there's a crack in the leaf here. Anyway, past that initial section, all of these extra layers are sort of optional. It just depends on how much detail you're going to put into the piece. Do I have a favorite step in the painting process? Yeah, I really love doing all the little, like, tiny little details. I love like just zooming in and where it becomes almost abstract. It's part of why I really like painting things like lichen, because in that case, that's the entire process. Where I'm not thinking anymore of making it look like a leaf or how the different shadows are interplaying and whatever, just going through and just painting little shapes, and each little shape is different. I can just enter this sort of, I guess it's a flow state where I'm just having fun with it. And not really thinking about what I'm looking at or how to make it all fit together or any of that. Just all these weird little shapes. Okay, so now this edge is dried, so now I can start adding in these shadowy bits. And I know that these are much deeper, so I can just go in right away with something much, much deeper just to start anchoring this in place. So even though this is an initial wash, I'm sort of skipping past to Ev's question about, you know, how many layers. Well, part of the question is, what are you counting as a layer? Because technically I'm doing an initial wash, an initial layer that's all light colored, but instead of painting the whole leaf all with one layer, which I might do if it was like a more even sort of, like if I was painting, say, an apple, like something smooth, then I would probably just do a wet and wet wash initially and just sort of all in one shot with much less variation. But here, because it's all so, like all these little bits are so different, I'm just throwing this in right away with a much darker, what is that? Is that something caught in my, here. Anyway, so yeah, some of these areas will get you know, much more attention, and some of them where there's going to be, where it's going to stay quite light, you know, but they're basically the color that they are. No direct questions from over here. I'm in coasting mode and just drinking this relaxing session all in. It's marvelous how you can both talk and sketch paint at the same time. Fascinating approach. Yeah, I mean, I think I lose a little bit of both when I'm talking and painting at the same time. This is a sketch. I probably wouldn't attempt that on a finished painting, especially if it was for a customer. Okay, so I'm going to start throwing in some of this, maybe? So here I'm noticing that it's much more purple up in this area. So rather than starting with that same reddish color, I'm going to start varying it and throwing in some purple. There's also a crack. I don't think that you can quite see it in the same, from the same direction as I have, but there's a crack along here and there's a bunch of little cracks. So I'm just going to start leaving some gaps in here. I'll fill them in later, but like I'll refine them so that, you know, it doesn't look quite as open, but I'm just leaving myself some room here, basically. Dexter says hi. Hi, Dexter. You know what? I feel like this needs to be out further. I'm just going to change this angle right here. He just looked around like, I have a fan. Where's my fan? Good news, buddy. Well, I would give him some treats. Here, have some distance beef liver. Oh, he's emaciated, clearly. He's only like 2 pounds overweight right now. Someone call the Humane Society. They do learn how to get your attention, the little beasts. Neurons definitely learned to, you know, oh, I'll just shred the leather couch. You know, that'll get me attention. Damn it. Why are you so clever, little creature? Too clever for their own good. Are you going to eventually paint as dark valued as the reference? Yes, but I want to really play up the variation. I don't know if you can see it from this angle here. I'll bring it up to the camera. But you see how there's like all this interesting, you know, these like oranges and purples and stuff. So I really want to play that up, which means I don't want to just paint it as one brown blob. So it will be dark valued, but I want some variation in that value. And some areas, of course, in light to bring out the form are gonna have to, basically no matter what you're painting, whether it's like a polar bear in the snow or a whatever, what's a very black thing. You still want the full value range, so you still want your brightest highlights to be the white of the paper, and you still want your deepest, darkest shadows to be the darkest color that you can mix. And that's how you're going to make an effective painting. So even though this is dark, there's still going to be some areas that are going to be quite white. I just need to, yeah, work around that. So I don't know how much of that I'm going to be able to do today. This is a dry leaf, so if I don't finish it in today's stream, I can still work on it later. My plan is to go for maybe another half hour to an hour or so. This looks wonderfully. Thanks, Alex. Cats that look at you with that, gangsta, does this object mean a lot to you? No? How about this one? How about if I push it a bit closer to the edge? Are you willing to let it die for your sins? Oh boy. Little kidders. Such little terrorists. If I chew plastic, you'll pay attention to me. If I fight Dee Dee, you'll pay attention to me. If I knock 100 or so half pans across the room, you'll pay attention to me. Which of these sounds will wake you up the fastest? Little terrorists. Little terrorists. Okay. And then we're just gonna take this and put that there. Okay, so now let's start defining some more of these shapes over. I want something a little bit smaller. Oh my goodness, brushes, brushes, brushes. Not really quite the size of brush that I want. Okay, well, I will use this one. But I will also just pick up some more paint here. And I want some more of these brights. So I'm gonna take some of this, and I'm gonna take some of this. And how am I gonna get a dark in here? What's my plan for darks? Yeah, I think that's it. So I'm just gonna some of this perylene. You know what? I'm gonna reach for something that I haven't used in a while. So I pulled it out of my regular palette. So I don't have for the past few years my go-to black mix has been Perylene Green and Perylene Violet, and I didn't put Perylene Violet in my studio palette here because I basically only used it for this black mix. But in this leaf, there's a lot of like that Perylene Violet shade, so I am gonna use it. I'm just gonna pull it out of, this is a custom palette that I made with Roman Schmal Aquarius watercolors. What did I just do? Oh my goodness. I just smudged a gigantic, wow. Yeah, wow, okay, so I just made a gigantic mess on my paper, but that's okay because it's a sketchbook. Huh. Yeah, it's fine. I don't care. It's just a sketchbook. Okay, anyway, but I am gonna pull some Perylene Violet from this Roman Schmal palette. I don't even know how I did that. That's quite stunning. The Roman Schmal Perylene Violet is also a lot brighter than other Perylene Violets, so there's that. What I didn't really love about Perylene Violet, it's quite dull on its own, so it's very useful for mixing my black mix, but I wasn't using it on its own. But it's actually going to be super useful here, especially this Roman Schmal version, because I have all of these dull purples. And then the Roman Schmal version is quite a bit brighter than other Perylene Violets. Val says I'm back. Hi, Val. Okay, so I am going to start mixing these. And I'm also going to clean off my hands. Ours is the leather dining room chairs. Negative attention is still attention. Yeah, we have a leather couch that he destroys. On the other hand, we also have a leather like Ames chair, which he's claimed as his own, and he doesn't destroy that one at all. He just doesn't. He loves it because it's his. That's his chair, so he doesn't destroy his chair. He only destroys our couch. Little brat, little brat. So here I'm going to just deepen this, and so this will be basically as deep as these colors will go. And then there will be some even deeper, like mixed blacks up here. In these deepest shadow sections. And then that will help anchor like where the rest of the colors need to be adjusted. So this sort of thing here is why I don't do finished paintings on stream, or for that matter, even on video. This is an awkward position for me to be painting in. I have this all much closer than I would want. It's further into my desk than I would want. And usually I paint on a tilted surface and have like pieces of drafting film or tracing paper covering up areas of my painting. It doesn't work very well for streams. It doesn't work very well for even for video, which is part of the reason why it's a little tough for me to do full paintings on here, which is why you end up seeing a lot more sketches on my YouTube channel, and then if you go check my Instagram, then I have finished paintings that I do for customers or for shows or whatever that you don't really see the process of here on YouTube. You know, maybe someday I'll figure this all out and have a better way of combining them. But for right now, it's just variety across the internet in terms of what my content is in different parts, different areas. do I want? Yeah. To lighten that up just a little right now. Thankfully, the newer furniture has been spared because we have more scratchers than couches. Yeah, I mean, at this point, Neuron has just learned that he gets instant attention the moment we hear him scratching the couch. And it's okay. I mean, it's a leather couch, but it's also IKEA. However, not really cool. We got it because we thought, I mean, some cats don't like scratching at leather. Like they don't like the feel of it on their claws. That is not our cat. That doesn't describe Neuron. He loves it. Get more lost in IKEA than in any corn mazes. Oh man, yeah. I have to. I'm not going into an IKEA store, but I reorganizing my studio a little, and planning on piggybacking on my brother-in-law who's renovating his kitchen. And so I've been browsing the IKEA website. It's just, oh man, it's so overwhelming. Like I just can't figure it out. And then I'm gonna darken up this area in here where it's cracked open, and so that's another one of the darkest areas. I live kind of by the edge of where the New Jersey pine barrens start, and down there you can go lost forever on the sand roads, which is why the pines grow so stunted in the first place. Huh. Neat. Hi, Lee, and hi, Chad. The hour change caught me. Oh, your times have already changed. Yeah, and it's gonna change back for you, Paulo, next week? Yeah, next week. Because we delayed in Canada, we just delayed when our, like a few years ago, we delayed when our daylight savings time kicks in. So ours isn't until next week. But then it'll be back to normal for you. It'll be better for, at that point, it'll be better for people like Joy in the Southern Hemisphere. Regular time used to be a lot longer years ago. Now daylight savings might get even longer. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we could just sort of skip it, I guess. I know that that's a lot of discussion, but like, why do we bother changing the time every whatever? Like, it's just confusing. John says, Stephen, I must be the odd Canadian out. My hands don't seem to be bothered, but then again, others have referred to me as polar bear. Yeah, I mean, I guess my issue with the time change is just that, like, no matter what you do in Canada, you're gonna have, like, it's gonna be dark at inconvenient hours. So they change it so that then it's lighter earlier in the day. It gets light at 8 a.m. or something. But then because we're further north, falls then at 4:30 p.m. in the middle of winter. Like, why bother? I mean, I don't know. I guess it's just for, like, either way, one of the rush hours is going to be dark, I guess, is the issue. So it doesn't, you know, okay, so it's lighter in the morning, but then it's just darker at night. So when people are driving home. So it doesn't really, I don't know. Seems pretty silly to me in the Canadian context. I feel like I'm rushing this, and I've made some mistakes as a result. And there's cat hair here. Hey, definitely rushing. Definitely making mistakes. Fall is my favorite, but I don't love winter, so there's always a little bit of bittersweet. Jeff says this whole process is mesmerizing to me. I don't have to patience to pull it off at all. Yeah, it's interesting. I guess I can see how some people would find this trying on their patience, but it's not. You know, I'm very impatient about a lot of things, but this doesn't really test my patience at all. I have trouble waiting for things to dry, for example, so people who do a process, or the other thing that I have issues with is like filling a large area, and like evenly drawing with a pencil or something. This doesn't try my patience because each little bit is a little different, so it's not, you know, I would have issues with painting. Sorry, sort of distracted here. I would have issues with painting all in one shot, like painting, trying to make things really even, but painting like little individual little details. I don't find that trying on my patience in any way. I really enjoy it. Now that being said, I tried to paint in the veins here too early. So they're a little blurred out. And I need to make sure that I have my highlights still worked in. So we're going to work that in now. I wish I had winter vacation instead of summer vacation. Oh, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, I would enjoy that. Alex says it's like a magic trick. I look, it looks like step 4. I look away, it looks like step 87. Thanks, I guess. Yeah, so a lot of this, like painting details, isn't really actually painting details. It's just the illusion of detail. It's getting all your shadows in so that you're building up forms. And then you only put details in a few little spots in the midtones. And as someone who really enjoys painting all these little teeny tiny shapes, the challenge that I face is that I often want to jump right into, yeah, I'm going to paint the details, but painting the details is often not how you make something look detailed. If you just paint the details right away, you get a coloring book look, which is really neat, but it's not, you know, it's not necessarily what I want most of the time. So what I'm trying to do here is just build up the tones more so than any kind of detail. We'll have detail later. Alex says, I'm going to actually watch this later. Right now I'm maybe giving half attention to this, half attention to work, but I need to use my eyeballs later because step 87. One brush stroke. If you're talking about this area, that's, yeah. That was all just done pretty quickly. Joan says, this is true, Stevens. I have a few extra pounds to send your way. Shall I send them email or pure later? Well, we'll see. I feel like I'm actually handling heat, or sorry, well, managing my own body temp a little better on the meds I'm on. Oh my God, I should really just like, really, the manufacturers of venlafaxine should just be paying me because I just go on and on about my meds. Yeah, so we'll see how I handle this winter. But I used to get cold a lot. And certainly the past few weeks, just as it's been getting cold, I haven't been minding as much and I haven't been like getting chilled. So maybe I just became Canadian. We'll see. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, I'm gonna grab myself a little more of this Perylene Violet. I really love that those meds are working so remarkably well for you. I told my care worker about you today because we were talking about chronic pain management. Aw. Yeah. It's like, I almost feel like not in a bad way, but I almost feel a little guilty where like, I just honestly wish that, things worked out this well in general with medication, because my understanding is like most people have really bad side effects with a lot of like SSRIs, SNRIs, and I don't like no side effects. It cured things that I didn't, well, not no side effects, but very minor side effects. Cured things that I wasn't expecting it to cure. And it was just like, it was a lucky break, I guess, because, it was just the first med that I tried, really. Your advert works internationally. Yeah, that classic variation of survivor's guilt. Yeah, yeah. But it's just, like, it's not bad. I'm not, I'm still really glad that my meds are working, but I mean, that being said, my meds are working really well, but my goodness, my psychiatrist. Do I even want to talk about this here? Yeah, sure. I'll talk about my psychiatrist here. So I had a follow-up, and my psychiatrist is an interesting character, shall we say. She wanted me to do an exposure challenge and challenge myself to let myself do things that I would usually beat myself up over. And this right there was just the very short, like 30-second explanation, but that's not how this got presented to me. I got no background, no introduction, no, I would like you to do a challenge. She just launched into this 30-minute monologue about, she's an Indian woman. She speaks very quickly, and I don't even know if I can do an impression of this. She just launched right in with, okay, so, in our office we have a sample cabinet with meds. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? We have a sample cabinets with medications. And so if I go in there and I just choose a medication, I just, I'm taking a sample. It's nothing bad. I'm just taking a sample. So I just take a sample and then I take it and I don't ask anyone. I just take it and I try my sample. I'm not really doing anything bad. So if I just take a sample and then say I don't understand something, so I ask the nurse, what is this medication? And she tells me, and she just offers it to me. So then, I'm not ruining my experiment. I'm like, what are you talking about? What is going on? And she just keeps on going through this example. So, it took some time for me to even interrupt her, but then she went into all of these examples from her own life about, it was clear, like, okay, well, we're talking about anxiety and ADHD, but I'm no longer sure whose anxiety and ADHD, because I'm pretty sure it's not mine. I think these are examples from your own life, because I don't have children that I feel guilty about not brushing their hair or parking in the disabled spot to get them lunch last minute. It was just crazy. It was 30 minutes of her just going on about whatever her own guilt is. And I think I got what her point was out of it, but it was very strange. So yeah, I've had like mixed experiences with a psychiatrist, but on the other hand, she prescribed me some magic medications that have worked really, really well. So Stephen says, are you paying her? Well, I mean, she's paid, but by OHIP. I haven't given her a penny. Mikey, you don't understand. She was just like, I can't speak this quickly or this animated. She was just, it was a 30-minute monologue. There was no interrupting her to be had. It was just like her unloading her, you know, she was assigning me a challenge. The challenge is you have to do something to, you know, challenge yourself to do things that you would usually beat yourself up over. So, for example, if you beat yourself up over, you know, you work in an office, you beat yourself up over taking some milk from the common fridge that doesn't belong to you, and you feel the need to like beat yourself up and go find someone to apologize to when you do that, just do it and don't apologize. That was the point. It was an assignment. But it was also clear that this is an assignment that she had set for herself, or that her own psychiatrist had set for her. Like, it sounds like she has similar struggles than I do, which is great. Like, you know, that's reassuring. But oh man, it was a 30-minute monologue on just her insecurities. It was pretty clear, like, we're no longer talking about my anxiety and my ADHD, we're talking about her anxiety and her ADHD. I'm at a total of one sane psychiatrist in 20 years of my life. Well, you know, I think we get to an age where it's like, you know, who are psychiatrists? They're just our classmates who we went to school with, you know, the crazy kids who, you know, I joke around about my high school classmates. I went to a sort of overachieving high school, so like my high school classmates are now all doctors and lawyers and engineers and what have you. And so you'll have, so, you know, the two guys who spent years just pantsing each other, and last I checked at the last high school reunion, they were still up to it. And now one of them's a neurosurgeon and the other one's a criminal lawyer. Like, okay, well, all of these professionals are just as ill-adapted as the rest of us. Ask her to work on her impulse control. Lol. Have you taken your central stimulus today, doctor? Yeah, no, really. At least she didn't try to seduce you. 70s were different. Yep, I have not had that experience with doctors. That is... this a little bit more transparent here. Psychiatrists are bananas. Mine once cut me off as I said cats were well trained to address certain PTSD issues I have. He literally cut me off, belly laughing as, how do you train a cat? Well, you just watched me. Neuron sits on command sometimes when he feels like it. John says, this has been lovely. Thanks for hosting today and Ed for helping. Much mustache and watch the rest later. All right, see you later or next week. What time is it? 4:26. Okay, I'll go a little bit longer. I also suspect my phone wasn't at full battery when I plugged it in, so I don't know, it might actually just decide to cut off on me at some point. Hopefully not. I see. A psychiatrist would say, you don't say. Interesting. I'll have to look into it if there's any cool research on that. Or any kind of, yeah, really, tell me more. Yeah. I mean, definitely interesting. Definitely a, like, well, wow, those are some interesting people. My family doctor is great and, like, more what you would expect in terms of, like, supportive and interesting, interested and what have you. The psychiatrist, I mean, she was spot on with her prescriptions, so that's great. And I'm glad, yeah. You know, she's clearly competent, but in terms of, like, the therapy side, I'm not really feeling like she, I feel like she could use some help there, maybe. What do you mean by that? No, give me 800 bucks. Well, I mean, they do deserve to be paid, but also this was paid by OHIP, so. Oh, I think we cut out. Uh-oh. You seem to be back. Audio's fine here. Okay. Yeah, let me know if there's any issues. My phone is low on battery, so I may end up cutting out, in which case I'll just hop onto the chat and let you know. That may be how this stream ends up ending, is my phone just dies. Evit's OHIP, Ontario Health Insurance Plan. Leaf looks so good. Thanks, Lise. Okay, and then I can get this part in. Really does. Remember to like this stream. Yes, please. Remember to like this stream, like, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm sure everyone here is subscribed. Join my Discord if you'd like to chat throughout the week. All of those things. I'm gonna keep painting, but at some point my phone is going to die. So, you know, you're probably not gonna get a proper goodbye on this stream. That's how this is gonna end. $12 watching right now and 13 likes. That's cool. Yeah, nice. Good stuff. I think at one point it was up to 18 I saw in the chat, so that's pretty good. That's, you know, good numbers for one of these streams. Thanks for a nice stream, Lee. Thanks, Stephen. Joy! Hi! I'm currently painting a leaf, and my phone is low on juice, so this stream is just going to abruptly end at some point. But until then, I'm just painting and chatting. Thank you. Yeah, I'm having fun with it. I've really been enjoying just the chance to do whatever on these streams. Because streaming doesn't really work for most bigger projects anyway, so it's just a chance to like share all the little stuff that I do in my studio. Sort of give me an excuse to paint some things that otherwise probably get pushed aside. How long did it take since your daily leaf challenge before you wanted to paint leaves again? I didn't really have the experience of being like tired of leaves necessarily. So, you know, the next day I was painting leaves as part of larger pieces. I don't think I was ever like allergic to leaves necessarily. But I did want to focus on larger pieces, and so I wasn't doing single leaves as a subject until really just right now, and this is for a sketchbook anyway. I do really like all the crazy shapes and stuff, especially in these fall leaves, so yeah, that wasn't an issue at all. This is one of these things, like, the more you learn, the more you know the more you understand you don't know, I guess. So with leaves, even as I was doing the daily leaf challenge, I would run into some interesting leaves that I wanted to do. Like, for example, staghorn sumac has these really gorgeous leaves, and I wouldn't have the time right when you know, a certain kind of leaf was in season, or like when spring leaves come out, they have, you know, a few days where they look a certain way. And so there were all sorts of things that I would have liked to have done that I didn't have time to do even within the Daily Leaf project, that right away I wanted to go back the next time, the next same time the next year. I haven't done a huge amount of you know, specifically leaf work, just because there's so many things I want to do. but I wanted to take some time now we're in fall in Canada, to get some of these things done. There's just such interesting colors. Did the year of painting leaves makes you change your process in any way? Any big takeaways? It definitely sped me up in terms of like the preparation for pieces, I think, where you didn't really see this so much with this piece, but I think prior I had sort of absorbed from a lot of other botanical artists that, you know, you need to prepare a piece, um, sketch on a separate piece of paper, transfer it, do all this layout, um, which is really, really common in botanical art, especially. Is just this whole ton of preparation, and that has value for some more complex compositions, but especially in the context of a daily art project, there's no way you're going to do that. So just the confidence to go straight to paper, and often just go more or less straight to paint. During the daily leaf project, I would often just like draw a central stem and like maybe a few little secondary stems and just go straight to paint, or like not even sketch at all. And now a lot of those paintings were a lot rougher. Like this one, I've been at this for almost 3 hours now. Maybe 2.5. There was a cat in there. Which, you know, that would have been a very long time to spend on a daily leaf. Like I didn't do that every day by any means. But you know, even this, you saw me sketch a little, but it's not, you know, I'm developing a lot of this in paint. And, you know, I do that with really most of my paintings now, and I feel like that was certainly something that I developed as a result of daily art challenges, where you can't be doing so much preparation. So it gives you some confidence to just develop your details in paint. So that's a big change. You know, it's influenced how I approach tying colors together. A lot of more subtle stuff. My private garden says it's 10 p.m. here in Venice. I'm going to bed. Thank you for this gorgeous leaf in progress. Good night. Thank you. This was lovely to watch. You're so talented. I will come back later and watch the end. Okay. Bye-bye. Splendid is such a good word, Mikey. Oh, thanks, guys. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Nope. I think we just died.